What is up, Knicks fans? Welcome to another edition of the KFS pregame show. My name is Andrew GMAC. He is Sean. He is Mensa. And we are here to preview the Knicks' upcoming matchup against the Detroit the Detroit Pistons. I'm just going to start with this. The Pistons do not have Cade Cunningham. And in doing my research tonight on the Pistons, this is without a doubt the worst team in the NBA. I'm just going to lead with this before we get into our format. If the Knicks lose tonight, sound all the alarms. Sound. It's time to tank. It's time to fire everybody, clean house. If the Knicks somehow lose tonight, fire everybody. I will join in the most toxic of Twitter fanboys. I will join in the pitchforks with all of you if the Knicks lose tonight. They have no business for this game to be close. The spread going into this is 9.5. I will join in with all of you. I'll fight Macri if he doesn't want to fire Tibbs after losing this game, okay? The Knicks should win this game tonight. That is how I want to start. Okay, let's get into our format. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for the KFS pregame show. It is, as always, presented by the fine folks over at WynnBet. Download the WynnBet app now or visit www.wynnbet.com. That's www.wynnbet.com to start winning. Sign up today to receive a special offer. Bet $100, win $100. That's bet 100, win 100. Download, bet, win. So the way we usually start is we recap any final thoughts as before we move on to the next game, the most previous game. Fortunately, this was the worst game of the season, but all intents and measures. Sean, I know how you usually get, especially when we're playing the Brooklyn Nets. There was no laughing at them to be done on Wednesday. Unfortunately, it was all being done at us. Any last words, final thoughts on the Knicks' blowout loss to the Brooklyn Nets?
Leading up to that game, I had said that this is their bowl game because I believe that they want to beat us more than we want to beat them because they went from 3 years ago, it was multiple parades down Flatbush to, hey, we beat the Knicks 12 straight times. That performance was inexcusable, lackluster. Like, you just want to, this team also, you just want to say that, all right, you know what? Just throw it out. It was a bad game. Just throw it out. Move on to the next one. But this team has not earned the benefit of the doubt to say, okay, a bad game. Because as I said during the post-game show, it's not that they're 5-6. It's how they're 5-6. And aside from the 6 losses, aside from Memphis, they've all just been this one ugly, terrible stretch that decided the game. And then in this case, it was from opening tip. Shout out to Edmund Sumner, who just hit another 3. So, I just felt like I know this team ain't going nowhere, but that was just just don't embarrass me. You don't have to win every game, just don't embarrass me, and that was embarrassing.
Not to defend the performance, Brooklyn also played a perfect game for them. Like this, they have the new coach bump going on. They have Kevin Durant. Ironically, the drama with Kyrie has led to them putting a much better defensive team on the court because he's not there. So it actually has, like I mentioned this on the pregame show the other night with Mensa, since it's the smallest of sample sizes, number 1 in net rating, number 1 in defensive rating since Jacques Vaughn took over. So that actually was the way that I thought the game could have gone. Not even the 112, but the Knicks just across the board. Ironically, Julius was the only person that had a decent game, and we were all frustrated that he was high usage and not hitting open guys and a turnstile on the defensive end.
It didn't matter because he was smiling. He was going toe to toe. Kevin Durant, you got that one. All right, I get you.
That right there, there's your no benefit of the doubt. This team, I actually do think we give RJ a pass, we give Brunson a pass on bad nights quickly, although that's starting to change. Julius is not allowed to, has to hit 10 of 10 and say nothing to the other team other than fuck you. He has no benefit of the doubt with this fan base, at least not in the Twitter world. Mensa, your final thoughts on the Brooklyn Nets before we move on.
So I don't necessarily agree that Julius Randle doesn't have like the benefit of the doubt with the Knicks.
You don't.
I think that it's a lot like what I said on the pregame show against the Nets, where I don't necessarily like. Okay, on the podcast you did with Fred Katz today, I thought that quote that he had with Emmanuel Quickly was so profound about how confidence isn't results driven, right? So and that to me is like the same. That's how I feel about Julius Randle. My confidence in him is not results driven. I care way more about the process and the sustainability of said process. Watching Julius Randle go however many shots he hit in the first quarter and going back and forth with Kevin Durant having this little like battle between the bros, I'm like, we're losing by double digits. And you have the audacity, like oh my goodness, the way my blood pressure rose watching him hit those shots, because it's like, this is the worst thing that could happen. Your process is terrible. I do not care if you can hit step back threes, because step back threes in general are a low percentage shot unless your name is Damian Lillard. And newsflash, you're not Dame Lillard. And you're making the shots, you're taking the shots. I'm like, great, over an 82 game sample, this isn't going to work. And look, for the past 3 games, Julius Randle can't miss from 3. But the process is so terrible. And the reason why you're hitting those shots is because they want you to hit those shots.
They're leaving you wide open, yeah.
They're leaving you open. And we don't care. We as fans do not care that you can hit these threes. So to go back to what I was saying at the top about how he doesn't have like the benefit of the doubt. Listen, if Julius Randle is scoring in the pick and roll, if he's dunking, if he's getting to if the process looks good, then we can't be mad. But I will always be mad when he's looking other guys off and when we're doing this Julius Randle centric offense thing, because for the past 3 years, the offense has been Julius Randle centric, and for the past 3 years, we've been bottom 10 in offense. I don't want to see the Julius Randle stuff anymore. If Julius Randle scores 60 points tonight and he does it the same way he did it for the past 3 nights, I will still be upset, because the process is unsustainable. And we saw it against the Brooklyn Nets team that was very long and they were very athletic. And they did things that I did not expect them to do without Kyrie Irving, so I'll give them credit. But this is a Knicks pregame show, and I want to talk about how angry Julius Randle made me. And that's pretty much the end of it. The Knicks need to bet, like, what I saw, like, if I had to wrap it up in a nutshell, the Knicks need to take more responsible shots. Most players on the Knicks who we are relying on have irresponsible shot diets. RJ Barrett, not really RJ Barrett, but Emmanuel Quickly, irresponsible shot diet. Julius Randle, irresponsible shot diet. And if they're not hitting shots, then they're really big parts of the first and second unit. And if they're not playing well because they're taking stupid shots, I'm going to be very angry.
Well said. First of all, so hold on. XJ's got a comment. Thank you, first of all, XJ, for tuning in. I want to read it out loud, and then we got a super chat coming in to support Mensa's point. All but 2 Randle threes this year are open or wide open. He's hitting them though. Like, yes, they are leaving him open, and I don't think it's sustainable. He is one of 6 players in the NBA this year, averaging 20 points, at least 20 points, at least 9 rebounds. And an effective field goal percentage over 50. And he's the only one in that group. I had it earlier. I cannot find the tab, but he's the only one in that group that has at least 35% from 3. It is the smallest of sample sizes. I agree. The impact stats that we've come to love because of XJ show how bad he is. He's also only taken 13 twos outside of the paint this year. The process is actually better than we're giving him credit for. I think the unrealistic standard that he set, he's his Brady Anderson year, like he had a 50 home run season, but he's a 16 home run hitter. And he still plays like he's still swinging for the fences at times. He's actually been better than I think we're giving him credit for. I do think, listen, he's upping his trade value. Let's thank him for that. If we have any confidence that the team is going to trade him. Listen, I think we're getting all our frustrations out because we're about to watch a Knicks blowout. I really do think that's how this game is going to go today. And if it isn't, then I'll keep the same energy.
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
Because that building will be.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to SB Gorilla for the super chat. This is the perfect team for Obi Toppin to be starting against. They naturally have a small lineup, a great time to get a good look at Randle and Obi. So Fred read this on the interview I did with him today, I guess yesterday technically, and John mentioned it the other day. Every lineup that the Knicks play a true center, whether it be Mitch, whether it be Hartenstein, whether it be Jericho Sims, is getting outscored. The one positive lineup that they have is the Obi Randall lineup. I personally am less concerned about who starts, especially since over the last 5 games, Tibbs has staggered. Like, it hasn't been the hockey lineups where the 5 on, 5 off, 5 on, 5 off. He actually has staggered. Jalen Brunson is playing every second quarter with the second unit. We're seeing RJ with the second unit lineups. The Obi Randall lineup, it's scattered whenever we get it, but he's basically situationally choosing when to use it. I think I do agree. Like, whether Jericho Sims starts or not, I actually don't care. The Obi Randall lineup, I think we're going to see a lot of tonight, and I hope we see a lot of it tonight. Like, let's see. The most we saw it was in the Minnesota game. We saw 10 plus minutes. Let's see another 12 of it tonight, even if it is a blowout. So that's actually a good transition into the Minnesota game, because I'd like to Rex Ryan style bury the Knicks Nets game in the bowels of Madison Square Garden and completely move on from that game against that team and talk about the Detroit Pistons. So they are 3-9 overall. They are 0-6 on the road, one of 4 teams this year who are 0-6. Little trivia. Can you name the other 3 teams, gentlemen?
That have not won a game on the road?
That have not won a game on the road.
Golden State.
Golden State's won. That was the difficult one. They are 0-6 on the road this season.
The Lakers.
The Lakers are 0-5 on the road. There's one more.
Atlanta. No.
They've won a game on the road. They've won a game on the road.
Orlando.
Mensa got it. The Orlando Magic are the other team that hasn't won a game on the road. Their 3 wins this year are at home against Orlando on opening night, at home against the Warriors, who, as we mentioned, are 0-6 on the road, and at home against OKC this past Monday night. Look, technically, Cade was leading their team in scoring for the year. He has done it very inefficiently. He is shooting 41.5% from the field on 19 attempts a game. He's shooting 28% from 3 on 5 attempts a game. He's averaging 19, 6, and 6, which for a second-year player, you're okay with. The counting stats, the splits overall are not great. They've got some stuff like Bojan Bogdanovic is shooting 45% for 3 on 7 attempts. Jaden Ivey, he's 15, 5, and 4 on 44, 32, 73 shooting splits. The big number that stood out to me with Ivy is he's shooting 32%. He's playing 32 minutes a game, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's a rookie, so you get the minutes, you see what he is. This is the version of the Knicks that a lot of people want to see. But understand, Kevin Knox got like how many minutes a game his rookie year, and all we found out was, oh, he's not that good. Like it's good to find this stuff out, but it's also might be overworking him his rookie season. Regardless, they're going nowhere this year. Maybe they do find out something in Jaden Ivey as he plays that amount of minutes. And yet, we do top 5s and bottom 5s in what the team that the Knicks are playing are in. The Pistons are top 5 in free throw attempts a game. They are first. They get to the line a lot. They don't make a lot, but they get to the line a lot. They're about I think they're number 12 in free throws made per game. They are bottom 5. Let me get ready for this. They are bottom 5 in the NBA. In field goal percentage, they're last. Field goals made per game, they're last. 3-point percentage, 26th. Assists per game, 29th. Steals per game, 25th. Blocks per game, 27th. Offensive rating, 26th. Defensive rating, 30th. Net rating, 30th. Assist percentage, 27th. Assist to turnover percentage ratio, 26th. Effective field goal percentage, 30th. Opponent's field goals made per game, 29th. Opponent field goal percentage, 27th. Opponent offensive rebounds per game, 26th. Opponent rebounds per game, 28th. Opponent turnovers forced, 27th. And opponent's points per game, 27th. If the Knicks lose this game, all hell should break loose. Like, the Garden should become We can't joke about January 6th, but
Nick-
all I will say
It should
is
be Nick's
that
Twitter.
it should be the Knicks Twitter should the
It should be a toxic boys Twitter space.
the most fiery guy from Place Night that you've ever seen. Okay, you're just as loud as you humanly possibly can. Call for everybody's jobs. Okay, the spread's 9.5. I think that may end up being my pick for tonight. What do you say about the Detroit Pistons, guys? If I don't want to sound the alarms too much, the Knicks should win this game, and it's going to be very alarming if they don't. Sean, we'll go to you first.
Going into the season, we said the Knicks should beat the teams they're supposed to, struggle against the good, beat the bad teams, struggle with the good teams, and the teams in the middle can go either way. Like, from all the stats you read off, and I actually looked at some myself, they're arguably the worst team in basketball.
Yes.
So they should win this game. My concern is that because they are the worst team in basketball, the head coach may believe that if we just run our stuff, we should be fine. And if
Sean, if the Knicks just run their stuff, they should be fine. I'll agree with that. They should not lose this game. I think us three could lose by 20 to them, which we should lose by 50 to any NBA team.
Listen, we are the better team on paper, but as a wise man once said, games ain't played on paper. So, I don't know. We should win. We should win. If we don't, I don't think that we'd have to get this in-depth analysis. We're the better team.
Yes.
We're at home. We should win. Because if we don't, on Kith night,
God. Burn those things if they lose this game.
Even my son is laughing at
Even
Kith
he's
night.
laughing. Just take 10 seconds and laugh at the jerseys. I don't hate them, by the way. I actually don't hate the Kith jerseys that they showed. What do you guys think of them? What you've seen so far? All right. Okay.
They're cool.
What do you think? They're cool.
They're okay.
All right. Well, Mensa, do you have any? I have nothing to say. This is a very, like Sean said it, cut and dry. The Knicks should. It will be embarrassing if they lose tonight.
There's no way the Knicks should lose tonight, but the Detroit Pistons are a sneaky good matchup against the New York Knicks for one reason. One reason. Bojan Bogdanovic plays power forward, and our laziest defender plays power forward. And the Knicks have had a tendency to give up corner threes to some good 3-point shooters. Saddiq Bey and Bojan Bogdanovic do exactly what the Knicks are struggling against this year, which is corner threes. I'm just, after watching XJ be right after guys who shoot corner threes against the Knicks hitting their player props, I am worried about that. I don't when I say worried, the alarm, it's maybe a 2 out of 10 because they just don't have the guns to compete with the New York Knicks. And I think that on maybe last year when Alec Burks was the starting point guard, I'd have had a little more alarm. Speaking of, it is Alec Burks' revenge night. He's healthy playing tonight. Even so, I do think that having Jalen Brunson should stabilize a lot of Knicks-related nonsense. So I think that the Knicks should win a lot, and that's where I'm leaning for my pick. I'm not really going with the player prop because I'm expecting a blowout. But if Bojan Bogdanovic hits 7 threes and we are all very, very angry, and and on the weekend that Jonathan Macri is not available to do a post-game presser. A post game.
I'm directing. I'm the therapist tonight. I was hoping to keep it light and fun, but yeah, I'll be right there if they are just listen, fire everybody if you want tonight. Okay, on the post game.
I could see this being the Murphy's Law night. That Bojan Bogdanovic and there's just so many not even taking statistics into account here. There's just so many. This went wrong because we're the Knicks kind of things where the guy you wanted to trade for, Jaden Ivey, breaks down your defense and goes crazy and gets Jericho Sims into foul trouble very quickly. Tom Thibodeau doesn't want to play Julius Randle and Obi Toppin because his name is Thomas Thibodeau, and that's just not what he does. The Bojan Bogdanovic angle, the Sadiq Bey angle. Like, there are just so many things that could happen to this New York Knicks team that, like, I don't want to be. There's really nothing to talk about with this game, to be honest. The Knicks should, and I want to be very clear, the Knicks should win this one by 35 bare minimum. But if it does go wrong, I can see exactly how it would go wrong, and it's Jaden Ivey, Sadiq Bey, and Bojan Bogdanovic just taking it to our Julius Randle-led poor defense.
Sadiq Bey is shooting 31% from three this season on 6 attempts.
Against the Knicks, it's different.
Is it though? So he's gonna get open looks. He's bad anywhere, open, contested, corners, you name it. Sadiq Bey doesn't hit 3-pointers. Bojan, I'll give you. Having the best 3-point shooting season in the league for someone not named Steph Curry. You know, like I'm right there with you. I really don't think it's gonna matter tonight. And I almost wonder if there's a hint of masochism going on where we want them to lose so that way we can erupt in flames and fire the coach and be like, he lost to the Pistons, he should be fired. Is there a hint of that going on here?
I mean, there is a, destroy and rebuild is a common. It's a song by Nas who dropped King's Disease 3. Shout out. I'm sure there is a part of the fan base that's like, listen, we know there's people in the fan base that actively want our team to lose because they believe tanking is this magic elixir that grants you, that guarantees you a superstar, even though it took the Orlando Magic how many years since Dwight? 12? But I will say that, you know what it is? If the Knicks blow it, the silver lining is that questions start being asked. You know what? It's funny because on Twitter, people say like Leon needs to talk so we can hold them accountable. It's like, you can't hold Leon Rose accountable. Like, what are you going to do? Like, you know how you feel? Like, you want to hold him accountable, yet you live tweet every game. You tweet 62 times a game. You buy the merch. You go to the game. You watch the TV. But you want to hold them accountable by having a press conference. The one way they could hold them accountable is if they lose tonight and it gets ugly and it gets toxic, because it's like, we are 2.5 years in and this is where we are, and you are steadfastly behind this gentleman that is probably not the best person to take the team forward slightly. And don't do that. No, but you know what?
Every show we're complaining about Tibbs. They're gonna win tonight.
They already beat Golden State. Golden State's better than us.
Golden State also hasn't won on the road this year.
Yes,
like they have a lot of problems. Ironically, their biggest solution they have is potentially the MVP of the league right now. But like, there's a talent issue. The Knicks lost the other night not because of Tom Thibodeau. They lost because RJ went 5 of 14. Brunson went 4 of 14. Everybody else on the team that wasn't a center had a bad shooting night.
Yes, that is true. However, that's one game out of 11. And like I said, of the 6 losses, it's just like, listen, I'm not here to dump on Tom Thibodeau. I've done that enough. What I'm saying is, we cannot say, what I'm saying is, if Golden State can lose to them, we sure as shit can lose to them. Number one, right? Number two,
yeah, fair.
Number two, if we lose, there's a saying: what should be done eventually must be done immediately.
So, all right, that was deep. That was a deep cut.
Really quick.
Go ahead, Mensa.
Yeah, I just want to jump in, and if you don't know who I am an optimist to my core. Proof is in the pudding. I'm seeing the Jets are 6-3 and get those likes up. So yes, those are both true. Please get those likes up, and the Jets are 6-3. I placed a bet today, plus 1,200, that the Jets will win the AFC East. I am that optimistic a fan. Do I really believe it? Not really, but I'm optimistic, and I put my money where my mouth is sometimes. The reason why, like the Knicks, I've just seen it over and over and over again. This is the same Knicks team that last year let Josh Giddey drop a triple-double, and Trey Mann scored like 25 points on us. We lost to the Nets at home last year, and I don't think anybody was playing for them. I've just seen it too often with this Knicks team and this specific Knicks coach. And I don't want to make this the dump on Tom Thibodeau show. It's just a lot of it for me is the same. It's the process of how we're doing things. Like 37 and 45 last year wasn't that bad on its face. It's just how we had to watch it and experience it. This year, 5 and 6, like, come on, like what that is our record, right? 5 and 6 or
5
4
and
and 5?
6,
Yeah. Like, that's not that bad. That's not that far off. It's just the way we are losing these games. What's up?
We got breaking news. Isaiah Hartenstein is starting tonight. So Jericho Sims is out of the starting 5.
Okay, yeah, never mind. Never mind anything I'm about to say. The Knicks are going to win by 50. That's it.
Knicks starting 5 for tonight. Hartenstein, Randall, Barrett, Reddish, and Brunson. 2 counterpoints to what she said. This is not the same Knicks team that lost to the Nets at home last year. RJ wasn't playing in that game. Jalen Brunson wasn't playing in that game. This is also not like the Warriors did lose to the Pistons. It was in Detroit and it was against Cade. This is the Pistons on the road without Cade. We're going to see Kevin Knox minutes tonight. If the Knicks lose to Kevin Knox and Alec Burks and Sadiq Bey, then I'll join you in the outrage. I really do think this is a get back game. Hopefully it's good momentum into our event on Sunday. And we could be sitting here Sunday night with an over 500 basketball team before they go out to this West Coast road trip, which to me, that's the thing I fear that might decide the season, or at least point the team in the direction when they go on this 5-game West Coast trip, you know?
So tonight doesn't really scare me.
Mm-mm.
Sunday scares me to
Sunday
hell.
does. The OKC game does scare me.
Sunday scares me to holy hell. And for some reason, SGA will come in with an agenda, even though we've done nothing to him. And then, the media can go, oh, SGA lit up the Knicks because, they haven't traded for him. Like, is he available?
Hey, Berman retired.
They drafted Kevin Knox over him that one time.
They drafted Kevin Knox over him.
Uh-huh.
But, we're the only team where players exact revenge again for passing up on them. Like, it's only us. MPJ got passed on by 13 other teams. But he apparently the Knicks passed on him 14. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully it's a W. I'm confident in saying that it's a W. And as a result, as we transition to the betting portion of our show, it's time for betting and sweating. Here are the lines presented by WynnBet. Once again, go to WynnBet.com. Download the WynnBet app or visit www.wynnbet.com to start winning. Sign up today to receive a special offer. Bet $100, win $100. Download, bet, win. Again, that's www.wynnbet.com to start winning. I usually let you guys go first. I'm taking the Knicks 9.5. I'm 2 for my last 2, by the way. Thank you, Karl Anthony Towns. Thank you, Kevin Durant. There is no opponent on the Knicks I'm confident will go off like that in a player combo. I'm taking the Knicks minus 9.5. They will win by double digits tonight over the Pistons. Mensa, what's your pick?
I am taking the Knicks first half spread. I think when I saw it, it was at 4.5. The line moved 1 point, so it's probably 5.5 right now. That's where I'm at. Knicks
5.5.
First half spread.
Oh, minus 5.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sean, what do you got? I'm texting XJ to see what each pick is.
Do you know who has hit the most corner threes in the NBA this season?
Who?
Bojan Bogdanovic.
Bojan. So you taking a game prop?
I'm taking Bojan Bogdanovic. 3+3. I think over 2.5 threes is, I have it right here. It is minus 115. I am tempted to get 4 threes, but I don't want to be greedy. I will take the minus 115 because I believe that's free money.
Why don't I see this?
You have to refresh because what happened was I was looking at it, but once the starting lineups came out, then they.
There you go, 3-pointers. So you're taking Bojan. How many threes? Minus 115.
Minus 115. I believe this is free money.
Yeah, 4 plus 3s.
4 plus 3s is
listen. 10.
That's not like 4 threes in the game is a lot. That's not enough. That's not enough for me. But I believe minus 115 is free money. I actually really thought about. I wanted to shout out to Mensa because once you start talking about Bojan, it made me go on iWinNBA.com and see who hit the most corner threes, and it's him. And then he's taken he's taken 25 this season, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th most in the NBA. So he's gonna put them up. I actually really wanted to go full narrative hive and take whatever Alec Burks' points over was, but he wasn't listed.
They got nothing listed for him. So, funny story. XJ did text us what his pick is. He's taking Knicks minus 9.5 tonight. So, I will surrender my pick and not take it and give XJ that pick for tonight. So, he's got Knicks minus 9.5. I'm going full narrative hive, and I think I'm gonna become the Julius Randle defender for the rest of the year because he puts up counting stats, and that's all I need.
It's a bad hill to die on.
Listen, maybe I'll die on it then. You know what though?
The moment you depend on Julius Randle, he will let you down.
I'm talking through it. This could be a game where starters come out, they're struggling, and then because we have the depth, as a result, the Knicks pull away in the second quarter, which is why Mensa's second half money line is the smarter money, which is why I will go with. Is this an RJ game or is this a Brunson game? I will go Jalen Brunson points, rebounds, and assists 35. Yeah. No,
wait. Mensa had the rule that if it's over like 8.5 points, just take it every time.
Yeah, it's at 19.5 right now. I took it personally. Yeah, I took it personally because who in like Killian Hayes is going to stop Jalen Brunson? Yeah, right.
His
so
line is locked.
I did take
it. I got to refresh. I'm gonna see his line is locked, so I can't take it because they got the starting 5 out. All right, I already did it. I am taking Jalen Brunson over 30. I'll go 30 points, rebounds, and assists. It's minus 149. If you're betting straight, these are what the values work themselves out to. If you want to do a parlay for the 4 of us to get all 4 of our picks right, this is what you got. Plus 1030. 1038. So you bet 100, you win over $1,000. This is from the fine folks over at WynnBet. One more time, download the WynnBet app now or visit www.wynnbet.com to start winning. Sign up today to receive a special offer. Bet $100, win $100. Download, bet, win. Real quick, we got one super chat before we get to our final thoughts on this game. Mr. Kevin Danishevsky, thank you for the contribution. Preparing myself for the Alec Burks revenge game. Seriously, he was a good Knick then and hit some big shots. Noel was crucial to the 2020-21 team, and Kevin Knox exists. I think the way that Alec Burks was used was way more toward any vitriol that he got than his actual performance. I actually think he was, as Kevin said, a very good Knick. Do you guys concur?
Absolutely.
He was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when people say, and I say the Knicks are among the smartest fan bases in the league, like Alec Burks was arguably the worst starting point guard in the NBA last year. At one point, I remember Fred Katz saying that he was close to shooting better from 3 than from 2. He was off on that role. He will get a rousing ovation tonight because we know that wasn't his fault. And he was put in a position to not succeed. So I don't think Alec Burks is going to come out gunning for us. He's a competitor, so he's going to want to, beat his former team. But I don't think, like I said, when he gets introduced, he'll get a rousing ovation.
Alec Burks did shoot better from 3 than from 2 last season. Shot 40% from 3 and 39% from 2. So you're right about that. Played more minutes than his last year than any year. Then played the most minutes he's played since 2015 last year. And over an 81 game sample size, 44 of which he started. So he started the most games that he's played in his career last year. Oh, those 33 minutes a game that he averaged in 2015 was in 27 games by the way. Yes, the most minutes of his career were played last season because Tom Thibodeau, look, the lineup data did support it. They were positive when he was on the court. It just in crunch time did not really support it. Any final thoughts before the Knicks take on the Detroit Pistons? Mensa, we'll start with you.
A common theme: the Knicks will either win this game or they will lose this game. There is no way in hell Detroit will beat the Knicks tonight. The Knicks will either.
Okay, that's right. You keep doing that. That's right. Okay, I was like, yes,
Yeah.
those are the two options. Okay.
They will either win or they will lose. Detroit does not have a chance to win this game. They do not have more talent than us. They're not deeper than us. I don't think they have a better coach than us. I think the Knicks, if they do Knicks things, which has been terrible in the past, but if they do Knicks things, the Knicks will win this game and they will win it in the third quarter. I do not think that the starters should be playing in the fourth if we had a regular coach, but chances are our starters will be playing in the coach even if we're up 45. So I like the Knicks going away. I don't think this will be – I think this is the get-right game for Emmanuel Quickley specifically because he's been playing poorly. But Quick, especially if Toppin is going – if Toppin's going, Quick will be going. So I think Emmanuel Quickley gets right this game. I think he is going to shoot over 50% from the field for maybe the first time all season. I'm not sure how true that is. But I do think that this will be the game that gets Quickley going because if it's not tonight, when will it be?
You almost hope this is the game that gets him going. Like you said, this is a team that allows people to get right. So you wouldn't mind a nice little 20-point performance off the bench for Emmanuel Quickley. Sean.
Really quickly.
Oh, go ahead,
I'm sorry. Just keeping it very Jet-centric. A lot of times the Jets were people's homecoming game. I think that the Pistons are the Knicks' homecoming game right now.
Fair enough. Sean.
The Pistons stink. Just win the game. I actually have a bone to pick with you, Mr. GMAC.
What I do?
Because betting and sweating for the Sixers game, you were going to make a terrible selection.
Yes.
And I said you should do first half Sixers, second half Knicks. And you did, and you won. And I had to listen on the airwaves, and you told everyone, hey, I had this, and I picked that, and gave me absolutely no credit.
So, first of all, you convinced me to go, because remember, we got news of the Embiid being out late in the broadcast. Both of you, Sean and only Sean convinced me to go Knicks first half, Knicks second half. And if it wasn't for Obi Toppin playing the entire fourth quarter, I have no chance of that cashing. So thank you, Sean, for that bet. I'm 3-1 in my last 4 games, partially because Sean got me to start winning and winning and grinning, as Clyde would say. And thank you, Obi Toppin, for helping me to get this stretch going. Also, thank you, Karl Anthony Towns, for doing just enough on Monday, and then for Kevin Durant for doing more than enough on Wednesday. Jalen Brunson, please do that and more as I look to go to 4-1 in my last 5. I echo everything the guys have said. The Knicks should win tonight, and if they lose, I'll be right here on the post game afterwards calling for everybody's job. The concession stands, the security, the parking attendants, fire everybody. Move the Knicks to St. Louis like the movie Eddie. Okay? Like everybody's got to go if the Knicks lose this game. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the KFS pregame show. We do this an hour before every game. I want to give a shout out to Sean and to Mensa for being ready and available on a Friday before this game. Follow them on Twitter. Their handles are in their name tags. You follow me as well, as long as Twitter still exists. Over the last 40 minutes, I have no idea what's happened in the meantime. The Knicks, as we mentioned, take on the Detroit Pistons in just a little bit. Enjoy the game. See you on the post game. Knicks Nation, let's ride. Also, can't forget.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
Tomorrow, 11 a.m.
Oh, yes.
KFS Study Hall. Myself, Chris Persianen. We're discussing the Knicks' biggest problem is, let us know, 11 a.m. tomorrow. There may or may not be a poll. Andrew Claudio has his list already because there's more than one. But what's the biggest one? We're going to set out a poll. I know what mine is. I think it's pretty cut and dry, but this is a very diverse fan base. So see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. The funny thing is, I don't think Chris Persiani knows it's 11 a.m. tomorrow. But guess what, Chris? Now you do. Wake up, buddy.
If he is awake, he will be there at 11 a.m. So that obviously tune in for KFS Study Hall tomorrow morning. And one, of course, important last thing, Mensa. The Jets are 6-3.
6-3, and we're winning the AFC East.
That's right.
Stamp it.
Why'd you say the East? The Jets are winning the AFC, baby.
Let's go.
Take care, everybody.